Hello everyone, Sandi here. Okay, today we are going to be taking a first impressions walkthrough of the Dreamkeepers Tarot by Liz Huston. So this is a deck that I have been looking at for, I don't know, a long time, and I ordered it quite a while ago, and it arrived quite a while ago. But I have just when it arrived, I was going through my down period, I think, and I just kind of put it in my cupboard, waiting for the day when I felt like today is the day I want to dig into the Dreamkeepers. So here we are, and it is still sealed, as you can see. So I'm gonna start opening this up. Now I actually anti-hauled this to use a term that Lisa Papes uses. I actually got the the Mystical Moments Tarot instead of this quite a while back, and then this one just kept calling out to me anyway, and so I decided to get them both because, well, let's just hope that they're different enough. They have a bit of, they are both collage decks, but I suppose that's where the comparisons end. They are both dreamy and such, but I think this one is a little bit darker, and the Mystical Moments is a bit more whimsical, maybe. So let's just see if I'm right. So this one comes in a hard box. It was a bit difficult to open, as you could see. It comes with this big guidebook, which I am really excited about. I've heard good things about this guidebook, just through the grapevine, I suppose. I haven't actually done any research or anything, but here are the cards. Okay, so this is a bit different. The insert here is a bit more sturdier than the usual box sets that look like this, but I still won't be using this box, so it'll just go in storage for the time being. Alright, so these are also wrapped. Oh, there we go. Always a bit precarious, this whole thing, opening a shrink wrapped deck. Alright. I like the feel of the deck, just like the first impressions. I like the cardstock quite a lot, actually, so far at least. It feels, quite typical US games cardstock, but I kind of like their cardstock overall. The backs are very, stylish, bit romantic. I kind of like this, like elaborate but understated style on cards. Alright. Now I could already glean that some of the mages have been renamed, so let's just see what we think of that. Let's zoom in. And there we go. Alright. Okay, the Fool is pretty interesting, actually. I know I've seen this one before, but I haven't looked too closely at the cards. Although the Fool I know I've looked at before, and I think a lot of these are very dreamy and like a bit, weird, as in dreams that are so weird that they're almost a bit creepy. So here we've got this woman holding a bell, and there's a gargoyle on her shoulder, and around her hip it looks like. There's a moon growing on a flower stem, and she's stepping on some heads coming up out of the floor. It's a little bit weird, I must say, and I think it's going to be a really interesting read when we go and look through the guidebook. I'm going to try and not take too long for each card, since this is just this first impressions, but the creatrix instead of the magician. So this is quite interesting. The bubbles here seem to be forming two figures. Or are they supposed to be wings? I don't know. I suppose that's just down to the reader. It's pretty cool looking, and we've got some triangles with eyes there. None of the regular symbology that you get for the magician here, and not really very much traditional in the Fool either. So I think that's really interesting when creators do this and just put their own spin on it all together. The High Priestess has kept her own name. She's got horns and skeletal wings and some kind of Victorian dress. There's so many things to look into in these cards. There's also some type of hole in her stomach, and it looks like the universe or something in there. And it looks like a face in this little droplet here on the branch as well. Very interesting. Slightly creepy. Oh, this Empress is gorgeous. I really like this card. With the starlit sky and the flower vines just climbing all over her body, and the cloak that looks like a cloud, like a cloudy sky. That's really beautiful. The Emperor is very traditional emperor, actually, with the ram's horns, like ram's heads, and he's sitting on this throne with his red robe. And yeah, considering that the others haven't been very traditional, this one seems very RWS, doesn't it? The Hierophant. I actually really like this Hierophant. I'm glad we don't have the regular old Pope figure. Instead, we've got this Victorian looking lady with 3 faces and a snake crawling up her staff. It's very spooky. Okay, so here we've got the Lovers, and this Lovers card I've seen before. I know I've seen this before somewhere, but this card actually does make me a little bit confused, I must say. Hang on, I'm just gonna look a bit closer here. So it looks like we've got 3 headless figures here who have like different phases of the moon as heads. And I don't know if that's supposed to symbolize the maiden mother crone energy. Because she's otherwise empty, like a cavern here in this dress, and instead of a head, we've got a bird holding a mask on both of these. And his chest is filled with this card house, or house of cards. And there's so much symbology to unpack here. It's very interesting. I think I might put this one to the side and read from the guidebook from this card later, unless we find a better one. Okay, the Chariot. Pretty straightforward. I feel like this one speaks very clearly to Chariot energy. We've got this lady holding two other faces in her hands. And we've got the two horses, one black and one white. And she seems to be steering it without any reins. And we've got the traditional two crescent moons on the shoulders. Yeah. Very interesting card overall. I'm really intrigued with the two faces that she's holding. As far as a Chariot card goes, I think it's okay. Strength. So here we seem to have a lady being hatched out of an egg, surrounded by this serpent, and like half of her face is invisible and we just see her eyes. Also a very interesting card. And she's holding a key, I just noticed there. Super cool. I feel like there's lots of ways this could be read. Cool. The Hermit. Right, I really like this Hermit. Straight away, we have this lonesome tree and like half a lady sitting on top of it. It's very, very, surreal. And then she's facing herself in some kind of apparition, and the apparition is holding a candle. Ooh, and if you look really closely at her face as well, we can see these two looking at each other, but here we've got a mouth and a nose as well, and an eye there behind the hair, as if she's also facing us, the onlookers. That's really cool. Ooh, spooky again. I get really spooky vibes from this deck. I don't really have any spooky decks either. I think this one might be my spookiest one so far, but I'm really liking it actually. The Fates instead of Wheel of Fortune, I like that. That's really cool. And this is overall a really cool image as well. And if you look at the floor here, you can see the face, the face of a clock being outlined here in the reflection. And this, hang on, trying to determine what's actually happening here. So this lady here has a crown and a full moon on top of her head. This lady here has some branches, and this lady here has a bird, a black bird or a raven sitting on top of her head. And what are they holding? Well, this lady here doesn't have any arms at all. This woman has one arm, and that one hand is holding a pair of scissors. And this lady has one arm on her hip and one hand on her side, and she is holding, I can't make out what she's holding, but she's holding something little there, maybe a lighter or something. It's very difficult to tell. Very cool card. All right, Justice. Ooh, again, very interesting. We have a four-armed lady here. She's got butterflies by her feet. She's got a different object in each of her hands. She's got an egg for a head that's cracked open, and there's butterflies coming out, flying out of it. She's got a book in one hand, a keyhole with a hand reaching out of it here, a sword, and a human heart, I think, on a like scale type thing, or it's like these two is holding the scales, so it's heart versus knowledge. I don't know. It's very interesting. So this could also be heart versus head. I don't know. And then there's also this random little man down here. I don't know what he's doing, if he's feeding the butterflies or what he's doing, but that's very, very odd. I need to pick up the pace, I think. Here's the Hanged Woman. Super interesting again. I really like this picture. It's very beautiful. So, Death is also very interesting. Seems like this lady, again, being surrounded by this, or entangled with this serpent. There's also a skeleton in there, and they both seem to be like encased in some kind of cocoon. Why can't I pronounce this? Cocoon. Yeah, super cool. Alright, so here we've got Temperance, and this is interesting. We've got puzzle pieces missing and two figures facing each other. This person here is headless and dressed in some kind of fishnet, and there's this skeletal bird in the sea. I don't know about this card. There's this weird... I'm putting that one to the side as well. Alright, the devil seems pretty, you know, suave, bit Casanova-like. We've got the devil trying to sweet talk this young, innocent-looking lady. It's a very pretty card. I won't say that. Oh yeah. Okay, the tower. Lady being split in half by the lightning, and there's also a tower there in the background. She's holding something to her chest. There's also some people falling down here. And this here that's enveloping her, it looks almost like tendons or muscles, or I don't know. It's weird. Super weird. Alright, here's the star, which is the card that's on the front of the box. And we've got this like skeletal mermaid looking thing coming out of the sea, and there's... Are those wingless hummingbirds, or are they seals? I can't really tell what they are supposed to be. These little things that's hovering around her. We've got a raven holding some carnations, it looks like, or sitting on this egg that she's holding. There's also something, a rose, poking out of her cleavage, I think, and a ship on top of her head. Very odd. But I mean, looking really closely at these things here, it looks like hummingbirds without wings to me. Ooh. All right. The moon, very pretty. There's something in French, I think, written down here. Amour et del dolor. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. But yeah, there's this lady with her like skeletal back exposed, and there's this moon and flowers in the dress. It's very spooky. Again, that's the word I want to choose to describe this. All right, the sun. She seems to be flirting with some kind of sun god or something. Yeah, very pretty card. Judgment. Ooh, this is interesting. I like the colors in this card. She's holding what looks like, again, like tendons or something, or like blood, like veins that she's ripped out of someone. That's really creepy. And then we've got these dead skeletons poking out of the ground here. And then we've got the world with this lady with many arms controlling all of these, like the web of the world kind of thing. Very interesting. It's also quite interesting. She seems to be completely... She's got a third eye and two other heads coming out of her brain. And yeah, it's a pretty card, but weird. Alright, so now we get on to the minors. What's that? Just a bit of speck of dust, I think. So the Ace of Wands, we seem to have a lady through a keyhole standing in front of this apothecary shelf, and she's got this boiling cauldron and this one wand that she's stirring it with. Very cool. Okay, Two of Wands. We've got a pretty lady in a red dress. She seems to have some kind of weird, like flower stalks for legs. That's very interesting. And yeah, there's this other lady in the background as well that seems to be peering out at her. I don't know, this is weird. Three of Wands, okay, I can see that's very classic kind of Three of Wands energy there. Lady looking out at sea, seeing the boat coming in. Yeah. Four of Wands. This is cool and weird, and there's like these people made out of tree bark meeting each other under this tree. So interesting. Wow, I'm putting that one to the side as well. Five of Wands. Okay. So we've got these hotheads, what it looks like. But it looks like it's like the lady fighting herself almost. It's very odd. She's missing a hand, and she's holding an extra hand that's glowing, and she's missing a head. It's lots of missing limbs and extra limbs and skeletons and yeah, weird stuff going on in this deck. Six of Wands, celebrating, eating grapes, like your Bacchus himself. That's a funny picture. Alright, 7 of Wands. Okay, we've got a lady with a bird's head standing on a sofa. Alright. 8 of Wands. This is fun. I like this picture actually. I like this, you know, indication of the momentum here when they're swinging, you know, like acrobats in a circus. Yeah, it's a really cool picture. 9 of Wands. She is standing her ground. But her arms are all cut up and she's got 2 different faces in the back behind her head as well. And 10 of Wands. Bit different actually. That one's quite interesting as well. This deck so far is making my head spin a little bit. It's quite, you know, quite different and quite weird. Alright, so it looks like they're saving the court cards for last. So here we have Ace of Cups. With a ballerina. Okay. 2 of Cups. With a goat-like woman holding a man half made out of a tree. 3 of Cups. I do really like this picture. This is a gorgeous 3 of Cups. I love that. Right. 4 of Cups. Ooh, there's some kind of a surgical scissors stuck in this head. And she's got clouds all over her and seems like there's bits of her missing, like somebody's been peeling her skin off. This is quite a disturbing deck sometimes. It feels like some of these cards are very, yeah, gruesome almost. Alright, 5 of Cups. She is looking at her reflection in the water, and we have these spilled cups here, but then we have 2 cups floating. And there's a lady in this moon as well, being held up by her, I don't know what to call that, dress or blanket or what. Cloak. 6 of Cups. Also a very weird card, like this cloud swan skeleton and these 2 girls sitting there whispering secrets to each other. It's just, yeah. It's going to be very interesting trying to read with this deck, I think. Wow. Alright. 7 of Cups. 7 of Cups. Hang on. Another weird card. I don't know what to make out of this deck. I knew I was drawn to it, but it's just making me slightly anxious looking at these cards. I don't know. Very, very odd. 8 of Cups. Alright, so here we've got the lady. Is that on the card itself? Yeah. So we've got a skeletal arm here as well, and she's like putting a hand on this shoulder, and then we've got this ghostly lady here that's holding this hourglass, and there's birds flying from their heads, and they seem to be turning away from these 8 cups here. And there's this weird spot here that I think is just a printing error, maybe. This is a beautiful 9 of Cups, though. I like that. It's a different one from the, happy, jolly old man. She seems to have been finding something, a key to her inner life there. It's a beautiful card, I like that. Alright, 10 of Cups. We've got this single lady sitting on a rainbow, enjoying all of her 10 cups, it looks like. Also a very refreshing difference from the, the happy, perfect family standing there. Yeah, that's a really pretty 10 of Cups, I think. Alright, Ace of Swords. I suppose this, if the other ones have creeped me out, I suppose the sword suit is going to be even creepier. Alright, Ace of Swords. We've got a lady with a sword and an umbrella, and she looks like a proper gothic lady. Walking away. Alright, 2 of Swords. We have another very creepy card with this mannequin in front and the 2 classic swords and the moon, but then we also have these hovering hands on the side there. One holding an apple and the other one having a branch coming out of its index finger. Oh wow, 3 of Swords. Okay, so this here we've got a lady without a head holding an anatomical heart. An anatomical heart pierced by 3 swords or daggers. Very dark. 4 of Swords. We seem to have a lady in the lake, lying here, resting. We've got a black cat up here and a black raven. And in the trees surrounding, there seems to be elemental signs. Do you see him? Can you see him? I hope you can see him. Oh, and there's another raven up there as well. Ooh, and another raven up here. And if you look in the clouds, you can see 2 faces here in the sky in the background. Oh, this is so cool. There's just more to see all the time. Alright, 5 of Swords. We've got an octopus lady and 2 men in boats. Ooh, and she seems to have a hook, a fishing hook going through her. Wow. That's a bit creepy. 6 of Swords. Peacock lady is floating away with a headless body resting on top of it. Seven of Swords. A lady walking around with 7 swords. Don't see much different stuff in here. She's just wearing a mask and that's about it. Like she's trying to conceal her identity. Alright, 8 of Swords. we have a lady with boats coming out of her, or ships coming out of her skirt. We've got some kind of skeletal birds holding up her dress like curtains. Yeah. Weird. Alright, I'm sorry, I just keep saying it's weird and spooky and a bit creepy, but yeah, you know. 9 of Swords. What does it say? There's some kind of words written on the back here. I can't really tell what it says. With is the word there at least, but I don't know if it matters. 10 of Swords. Very different, and you see here also the reflection of the lady here in the water. Alright, last suit, I believe. Ace of Pentacles. There's a lady standing on a rose with a pentacle behind her head. Nothing weird about that. Alright. Okay, so here we've got a lady holding her own head. Or it seems like the hands and the head has changed positions, and there's a bird and a skeletal, I don't know, cat maybe? Okay. I don't know what to think about this. This one I know I've seen before, and I thought this one was super weird as well. So it looks like, well, first of all, it's like headless mannequins, but they're holding a jar with a moon in it, and they both have, this is a moth and a butterfly just latching onto their backs. And then I don't know if that's supposed to be a quill coming out of her neck. But then we actually see the ladies reflected here in the water. That's pretty cool though. Four of Pentacles, we have the scales weighing a tree against a book and a mask. Five of Pentacles. We've got this church looking window type thing, but then we also have a bunch of arms with blue ribbons like surrounding her. Six of Pentacles. Right, so this is more like the Six of Pentacles. I mean, I felt like this... Oops. I felt like this Four of Pentacles had... Because of the scales, I think, the Four of Pentacles gave me Six of Pence vibes. But here we actually have the recipients of the actual... that you usually see in Six of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles with a lady whose head has opened up and revealed one of those jewelry box ballerinas. Very interesting. And Eight of Pentacles. We've got a lady who's embroidering her own face, maybe? I don't know. But a face. And her feet are made up of or what are they called in English? The tools you use to make a perfect circle. I can't remember what it's called in English now. Nine of Pentacles. Now this one I really, really love. I love this Nine of Pentacles. It's quite traditional actually in comparison to most of the other ones. With this lady in a luscious garden. She's got two birds sitting there as well on her chest. And then we've got Ten of Pentacles, rather different again, with this younger lady climbing out of the neck of this like dress or body, and yeah, super weird. I don't know if maybe the guidebook is going to clue me in and let me fall in love with this deck, but so far, I mean, I love the artwork. The artwork is beautiful and stunning, don't get me wrong. I just don't know what I feel about all the weirdness. But that's just me. Alright, Page of Wands. I like this, actually. I like the page is holding this gramophone parts and this wand. Knight of Wands. Bit of a Romeo looking chap. Quite interesting how we've got this armor, empty armor, standing in front of him with this burning like staff, and then himself in a costume behind him, or like a suit, and he's holding a red rose. These statues, I suppose, are representing the fawning young women that he is trying to win over. Oh, okay, King of Wands coming before the Queen. Again, kind of underlining the fact that this deck seems to be very geared towards a female audience. Putting the Queen above the King. I don't know. This King of Wands feels kind of wrong to me. He feels a bit too strict. Like, I feel almost like he's a bit, I don't know, swordsy in his manner. Queen of Wands. Very pretty picture. She's holding a bow. Very pretty, but I don't know. Page of Cups. A two-headed mermaid in a cup, talking to a skeletal face. Alright. Knight of Cups. We've got a lady trying to pour some water from a cup to this fallen person here. King of Cups. We've got this moon-headed person. Okay. And the Queen of Cups, a moon-headed woman. I think these are the two that are represented on the cover of the book. Yeah, they are. Alright, Page of Swords. Kind of like this Page of Swords, actually. See, all of these pictures that are more like this, I would have preferred the deck to be, you know, kind of like the Nine of Pentacles. A bit more, I don't know, like vintagey photos, but like fantasy photos kind of thing, instead of just these cut up people with skeletons and stuff. I don't know, am I sounding really old and boring right now? I might do. Oh, Knight of Swords. Yeah, I like him. I like him a lot. He's very Knights of Swordsy to me. King of Swords. Also very nice. I like this. He works beautifully as the King of Swords, I feel. And then we've got a Queen of Swords. Yeah, sure. She's very, you know, she's made out of stone, which I think might be a bit too on the nose. I don't know. Not particularly super happy with this one, to be honest. It's a pretty picture, but meh. Page of Pentacles. Yeah, sure. I think it's a cool picture. I love the forest behind her, but again, the dead skeletal animals. I think I would have preferred it to be live animals. That would have made more sense to me. Especially when it comes to the pentacle suit. Knight of Pentacles. Maybe. He's standing there on a cliff top with a book in one hand and a pentacle in the other hand. I don't know if he feels very Knight of Pentacles for me. This is, yeah. King of Pentacles. Yeah, I suppose he works. And then we've got the Queen of Pentacles, which I actually love. This is a beautiful Queen of Pentacles. I love this. Look at her. She's even got the bunnies by her feet. And she's got a bird sitting on her antler there, and a bee flying here, I think it is. Yeah. Alright, so the last card in the deck, I love. Alright, let's just grab a quick look at the guidebook. Very pretty. Let's zoom out. There we go. And we've got the contents. Seems to be quite a lot of contents here. With a preface, introduction to the Dreamkeepers Tarot, basics, setting the space, interpreting the cards, sample tarot spreads. Alright, so we get quite a lot of spreads. We get a card a day, this or that, choosing between two paths. Path of the Heart spread, Simplified Relationship spread, and the Mirror of Relationship spread. Then we've got the Major Arcana, the Minor Arcana, meanings, acknowledgements, and about the artist, author. All right. So for each major Arcana card, we get about two pages of writing, and for each Minor Arcana card, we get about the same amount. So that's quite nice, actually. All right, so let's read quickly, I will choose one of these to read from, and then I will draw a random minor card to read from. So, actually, we already have a minor card here. And do we want to read the Lovers or Temperance? I will look up both so that you can read them both if you prefer, but I will only read one out loud. So I would like to know more about the Lovers card, or maybe the Temperance. Let's go for the Lovers, and then I will look up the Temperance afterwards as well. All right, so the Lovers. Symbol of human love in its greatest expression. In an unguarded moment, two lovers reveal to one another their truest innermost selves. Fate has brought them together, but what unites them is their mutual conscious choice to intimately connect. Suspended in a vulnerable moment of truth, she reveals her alliance to the forces that influence the mysteries of existence, the effects of which are subtle and not totally within her control. He admits to a sense of not being as strong as his exterior would suggest, for inside he is a house of cards and is more fragile than he lets on. Messenger birds hold in their beaks the faces of the two lovers, tokens of the identities they have forged in their lives. The lovers represent romance, union, partnership, and healthy relationships. It is a pairing between two complementary opposites where there is a flow of love, respect, and compassion. This is a deep bond that was created in a moment of mutual witnessing and honest sharing. It is a partnership that often seems destined and divinely protected. The union represented by this card is a fruitful, beneficial encounter for all involved, and although it is often romantic in nature, it is not limited to such. This could be a deep relationship with someone who appears and disappears suddenly. This stepping in at precisely the right moment to jolt us into an important awakening of some kind. It could be someone we will be close to for many years, or if we are lucky, our entire lives. Sometimes as an intimate partner, or perhaps as a platonic friendship, business partner, collaborator, or family member. We will always know them by the larger sense of ourselves they inspire within us. Ruled by Gemini, decision-making and themes of choice are also central to the Lovers card. It could be a choice between vice and virtue, following the mind or heart, or deciding whether to be open or closed. If you are not willing or ready to step into what is being offered, that is a choice you are free to make. Sometimes the choice is not so easy, as past experiences of loss can hinder our ability to trust again. On the other hand, choosing to engage in a partnership that is filled with love and rooted in healthy desire is often worth the risk. Love enlivens our experience of the world, and with it, both parties are transformed. Divinatory message. The Lover's card is calling on you to believe in the force of love that is in the root of all things, to make choices based on this principle and fill your life with it. Be brave in connecting with those who come into your life and offer their hearts to you. The love here is most often romantic in nature, but can be anyone you feel a deep connection with, and is a reciprocal relationship. If you are not currently in a relationship and are seeking one, what is it that you seek? Are you wishing for a partner who mirrors you on an internal and external level? One who shares all of your interests, behaviors, and expressions of a personal style? If that is the case, dear one, consider that perhaps you are not seeking another, but instead are seeking yourself. More than that, you are seeking the love of yourself. And finally, the Lovers represents choice. If you are faced with a choice and unsure of what to choose, ask yourself, what would love do? Keywords: upright, love, relationship, harmony, positive choices, values, partnership. Reversed: disharmony, difficult relationships, missed connections, non-commitment. Alright, wow. I really like the write-up in this guidebook. This is amazing. I also really love this first paragraph describing what we're looking at and what these different symbols represent. That is fantastic. And I think that a lot of these cards that I took issue with might be made much clearer if each card is being, described this way. Like this 10 of Pentacles that I was like, okay, that's, yeah. All right, I'm a bit more excited now, actually. I had heard that this deck is good and that the writing is good in it, but I had not expected this at all. All right, so I'm going to hold up the path thing for Temperance here so that you can pause and read it if you want. If you can. It might be a little bit too small. Let me is it focusing? No, it's not. What is going on? Has it been like this for a long time? I hope not. Alright, so here's the first part. Here's the second part of the first page. Then we've got the first part and the second part of the second page. Alright, let's go to the Four of Wands, which was, which was this card with the tree people. Alright. Four of Wands. The welcome arrival of someone or something long awaited. In a woodland area, we see a haven of refuge and two tree-dwelling spirits known as dryads, specifically hamadryads, who reside there. In Greek mythology, these intelligent, shy, and good-spirited nature spirits were revered and respected. They each made their home in specific trees, with a special fondness for oak trees. Hamadryads are supernaturally long-lived but not immortal. Their wellness and quality of life was deeply tied to their homes and the health and well-being of their tree homes. In this scene, the two spirits greet each other with great feeling, maybe a little sass and excitement too, but overall we get the sense of an enthusiastic welcoming. The Four of Wands represents the arrival and celebration of something or someone long awaited. This could be the coming of romance, a beloved friend or companion, or the return of a weary traveler. It might also represent the completion of an initiation phase, task, project, or undertaking. It can signify a gathering or party, especially one that celebrates the completion of an initiatory phase. It is irrefutably a positive card, one of harmony, coming back to your roots, and of things coming full circle. Storyteller Michael Meade writes, "Initiation is the way the soul grows and finds its unique project in life." There are three major steps in the process of initiation. Separation, where one departs from their group or identity. Trials and ordeals, And lastly, integration and the return to community. We pass through many initiations throughout our lives. In some cultures, there are rites of passage marking these occasions, celebrations that honor vital phases of change and becoming. The Four of Wands illustrates the final stage of initiation, the moment of homecoming and the conscious return to community. In this phase, one reconciles who they were with who they have become and integrates the lessons accumulated on the journey. Ideally, this moment of reconciliation is celebrated with rituals and ceremonies such as debutante balls, graduation ceremonies, bar mitzvahs, homecoming celebrations, weddings, etc. Divinatory message. When the Four of Wands appear in a reading, enjoy the arrival of what you've been waiting for. Gather those close to you, giving thanks especially to those who have provided help and guidance. Welcome who you have become as you relish in the feeling of completion and its accompanying sense of accomplishment. The celebration could be marking something as dramatic as the return of Odysseus to his home in Ithaca from his 20-year grand adventure, or it could be the return from a semester away at college or returning after a weekend away from home. However grand or simple, celebrate the occasion of successfully passing through another of life's initiations. Greet the weary traveler and welcome them back, even if that traveler is none other than yourself. Keywords: upright, celebration, initiation, excitement, community, homecoming. Reversed: delays, incomplete initiation, correcting mistakes. Wow. Alright, I think that I will definitely be giving this deck a proper chance. I like the artwork overall. I think the artwork is super pretty. I like the feel of the deck in my hands. I like the guidebook very much. So I don't see, and I also kind of like looking at these colors together. They're all gloomy and a bit, kind of dark, but I like this color scheme a lot actually. And some of these cards really spoke to me, whereas others felt more challenging. And I kind of think that a good tarot deck has both challenging and has both cards that you connect with instantly and as well as challenging cards. So, do you have this deck already? What do you feel about it? Have you been planning on buying this deck? What did you think about the cards now once we have had a thorough look through them? Leave me some comments down below and let's discuss. All right. I'm so happy that you have sat through this long walkthrough with me. Thank you so much for tuning in, and please take care of yourselves. I'm so glad to have you here, and please be well, my friends. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.